Do you know what I think will be fun? Let's take a look at some celebrity relationships, shall we? Let's dive in and take a look and see how some of the celebrities are doing. Let's see how their relationships are going. And since we all follow the news, let's see if anything transpires or if anything proves to be right. Let's start with Beyoncé and Jay-Z. That's going to be the first reading that we do here. Let's take a look and see. Do you guys have any requests of celebrity or any other thing that you see on television or whatnot, and you want to know like what's going on in that situation? Let me know, and I will do a reading. This is going to be fun. All right, so let's see. All right, so I split it in 2 decks. Again, you guys already know the way that I work if you've watched any of my videos. So when I shuffle, if the card flips over in the deck like this, I consider it, but I don't take it. In order for me to take it, it does have to flip on the table like this or like this, okay? All right, so let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick shuffle, okay? Okay. What's going on in the relationship of Beyoncé and Jay-Z? What is their current situation? What is their current situation? Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Oh, and then card spread. Ooh. Right now, dang. Why did my voice just get like that? We'll see soon. I hope I don't get a strength card. Okay. All right. So right now it looks like they're having a huge problem with communication. Right now it looks like they're doing most of their communication like by email or texting. And when they do communicate, it's only regarding money. Ugh, doesn't look good. Oof, oof. Lord have mercy. Okay. So, as I mentioned, it looks like most of the communication they're doing is only communication regarding like money. Most of their communication is being had either by text message, mainly email. It looks like most of their communications are being done through email. It looks like to avoid any legal situations, and just from that alone, that's not good. All right, let's take a look. Okay, and it looks like most of the communication is being done from Beyoncé to Jay-Z. So it doesn't even, I'm not even showing shared communication. I'm showing that she's doing most of the reaching out. And see, we're getting this again. She's tired of reaching out and not getting a response. So it looks like she's doing a majority of the reaching out. And ooh, let's see here. Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Jay-Z. What's going on with them? Jay-Z. Oh, like I said, she's tired. She's tired of, and this was one of the cards that came out and I put back in. She's tired of doing it. She's just tired of it. She's over it. Beyoncé and Jay-Z. But they're bound. They're bound together. So I'm gonna get 3 more cards out and then I'll be able to get a deeper message. Okay, well, we have a 10 of Cups, okay? This is the best card that's came out. Okay, Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Beyoncé and Jay-Z, what's going on in their relationship? Beyoncé and Jay-Z, tell me more. Tell me more. What's going on? relationship. Tell me more. Ooh, I just got a whole bunch of bad, like, oh my gosh. The messages that I just got in my head. Something is being made clear. Even though this is a sun card, and we're going to see where the sun card comes in. This is a really good card. And it's coming out right besides the 10 of Cups. So this is a real good message, okay? And before I speak on the messages and the images that came in my mind while I was shuffling before I got this card, we're going to do some clarifiers because I don't know why this doesn't really feel like, we'll see. We'll clarify that. Okay, let's see here. Beyoncé and Jay-Z. What's going on in their relationship? Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Ooh, I knew that card was going to flip. Beyoncé and Jay-Z. What's going on in their relationship? Okay. All right. And then the card, the 7 of Cups. Lord, there's a lot going on. I wish you knew all of the messages while I was just shuffling, all the messages that just came flooding into my mind, into my head, everything that I saw. But let's see here. All right, because those messages could be from the past, things that they've gotten over or, moving forward from. So let's take a look here and see, based on these cards, what's currently going on. All right, so give me just a moment. I knew that card was going to flip while I was shuffling. I was going to say something about it, but I was like, you know what, let me just, if it comes out, it comes out. Okay. All right. I'm showing here that they're attached, although they're married. Either Jay-Z or Beyonce, okay? And we'll clarify some of these cards as I mentioned, but let's get a quick message on the base cards. The stronger the message on the base cards, the more strength that the clarifiers have. So let's see what messages we're able to get from what we have here. But for what I'm seeing here, I'm getting, okay. This is related to options, okay? I'm getting a message of options. Somebody has been speaking or communicating with some of their other options. And I'm getting here that this is what is keeping, I'm getting Jay-Z, this is what's keeping him happy, the fact that he has options, and Beyonce knows about these options. And she's just keeping herself busy. Although she knows about these options, she's in her head about it. It gives her anxiety, it makes her depressed, but she does things to keep herself busy. She knows that this relationship she's in she's tied to it, and there's no separating from it. Now I'm also getting that some of these options just became newly known before. I'm showing here that Beyonce may have not have known about the options, okay? But once the options became clear, it put her in a place where it's always on her mind. It's always in her mind. Like she can't stop thinking about it. So she's trying to do things to keep herself busy, but I'm not showing that she's happy right now. And the tower moment occurred. Okay, and we'll look into what that tower moment was. See what was revealed, what came out related to their marriage. Okay, and then the crazy thing is that when it comes to their marriage, right, something was revealed, and then it was almost, I'm getting like a sense of gaslighting, being gaslit. That thing was revealed, and then it was expressed and then it was ignored, almost like a cycle. Like a really toxic relationship here. I'm showing that there is still a little bit of happiness there. There is that happiness there. Okay, you can't deny that the happiness still exists. But the question is, does that happiness exist within their relationship, or does it exist within these options? Let's clarify. Let's take a look at some of these cards. Wow. Wow. The communication here is terrible. See, look, then even just this one just came out. I still consider it a flip because it didn't pop out of the deck. It just flipped onto the table. Here's another card, okay? So this, you have the Page of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and then the Page of Wands. This talks about their communicating, the way they communicate, their communication style. And while I was shuffling this, I was looking at the Page of Swords. So I was looking to clarify the Page of Swords, okay? So if we're clarifying the Page of Swords with this card here, it looks like there was some thing that was discovered, okay? And with what was discovered, it was communicated by email or by text message. Okay. Someone may have even communicated that they wanted a separation. Okay. So let's see here. All right, let's clarify the Page of Swords. Let's get a hand-picked by spirit message. When it pops up, it's hand-picked. All right. There we go. All right. Someone has been, okay, so there's been communication about as I mentioned, most of their communication is about work. That's why you're getting this, about the work they've been putting in. Okay, so I'm showing here I'm not even showing any love here. Okay, the only love that I'm seeing is, or a heart that's in the relationship is when it's related to the options that are available and to the family, okay? And I'm getting to the children, okay? But I'm really not showing here like love on a deeper level, because as you see, you have the child here too. So it's more like shining a light on this love is mainly focused and related to the love that they have for their children. Okay, and then if you put the 9 and the 1 together, that equals a 10. Okay. Which talks about new beginnings and things like that. And again, those new beginnings is pertaining to their children, because their children are basically a rejuvenation of their bloodline. So I'm getting that the only happiness that I'm seeing here is when it has to do with their children, and his options, Jay-Z's options. I'm not even looking at this. It's kind of seems like the relationship is really one directional, because it's almost like this pentacle energy like dominates. Okay. And this pentacle energy is Jay-Z. Okay. All right. So again, most of the communication is related to work, and they're doing most of that via email. And just the fact that when they're communicating, the just getting this card here talks about investing and fruits of your investment, you know, so it's just really a lot of like work energy. But it almost gives me the energy like if there's nothing new going on, it's almost like trying to create new things in order to keep the relationship alive, new things to work on together in order to keep it alive. Otherwise it's like two strangers existing. Let's do, ooh, my hand just started itching. Oh my gosh, see, I'm gonna start expressing this when I say it, because I was about to say, oh my gosh, I hope I don't get the death card. And here's the death card. Okay, all right, so let's do some clarifying. Okay, all right, I'm showing here that they still have faith in their relationship and their family. So they're still keeping that faith. Although, you know, things are looking bad right now, it looks like they still have faith. And okay, and again, what allows this relationship to continue to be rejuvenated and, you know, brought back to life is the fact that they do have children. Okay, and then they do have that family. It's just kind of hard to, you know, a lot of the messages that I'm providing when I draw the cards, it's basically reiterating, telling me what I've already said. So, so when I cut it short like that, that's the reason why. Okay. All right, so let's see. Let's get some more messages here. Let's see why this depression is here. So right now they're stuck. They're stuck. They're stuck. What I mean when I say that they're stuck is that right now their relationship is in a place where they've tried so many ways, so many angles, went so many directions to where they were able to rejuvenate the relationship, keep it fresh and keep it going. But right now it looks like they're having a hard time to resetting and getting it, you know, their relationship to move forward with a new, to basically be rejuvenated. I'm also showing here that they're actually not being intimate. Okay. Yeah, they're not being intimate together. And again, it's because the options that are available to Jay-Z, and also because the way that they're communicating, getting that they're not doing a lot of communicating. I won't be surprised. This is what I mean when I say, next time I get this thought, I'm actually gonna act on it and say it to you guys, but I won't be surprised if we get like an 8 of Wands. Okay. And then if we do get it, I'll go into it. But I won't be surprised if we get an 8 of Wands in this reading, because it's giving me a lot of 8 of Wands energy. Okay. But I'm not seeing a connection. Okay. I'm only showing love here at the bottom, again, when it's related to children and the fact that they have a family. I'm showing here they're not even sexually active, they're not intimate, you know. Most of their, I'm also showing here there's not even a desire. Now I'm showing here that Beyonce is showing desire. You know, she does try to do things, you know, be affectionate, you know, give to Jay-Z, but I'm showing here that he's really not paying attention to it. He's not acknowledging it. He's moved on to bigger and better things. That's the first message. That's the first thing that came into my head. He's moved on to bigger and better things. I wonder what he has in the mix, what project he has pending. Given the fact that he's moved on to bigger and better things, he must have a new project or something big going on that, you know, he has his name on but isn't making it public. Let's clarify some more of these cards. Oh, that one came out really. Death card. Okay. So I'm showing here, even with the fact that most of their the way that they're able to keep their relationship going is communication by ideas and word communications, and, you know, developing new projects together. That is ended. So they're actually not even collaborating together anymore. Like, or have the desire to collaborate. It's almost as if they squeezed out all the juice out of the orange, and there's no juice left. You know, there's no, out of the lemons, they took lemons, made lemonade, but there's no juice left in that lemon. So it's kind of like, yeah, they're not even collaborating, you know, with each other like that anymore, because there's no juice left in the lemon. There's no more lemonade to make, you know. And isn't it fitting that the background is yellow? It's like here, you gave me lemons, I took it and made lemonade, but there's no more lemons, there's no more juice left, you know? I was hoping to get a better reading. Hopefully I can provide this came out again. This just keeps wanting to pop out. Like, their communication is like, their communication right now is really, really bad. Neither of them are feeling inspired by each other. I'm going to provide also a message that, you know, what they could possibly do to turn this around, to make things better. Let's take a look at the Devil card. Okay, so looking at this Devil card, this is interesting. Okay. All right, so let's get another clarifier for this. Okay, because I know that we have Jay-Z's energy here. Okay, so we have two male energies here. Okay, and one of those male energies is almost like obsessing over something, or has an attachment, or has an addiction. Okay, so I guess my real question here is this both of Jay-Z's energies? Is one him when he's around his family, and then the other, you know, another facet of him, like his alter ego? Or is this someone else that's involved in their situation that is making things bad for them? So let's take a look and see if we can find out more information about that. Oh, goodness gracious. Then we get another individual. Okay. He has different personalities. He's never one person. He has different personalities. And all of these personalities that he exhibits is not easy to deal with. That's the first message that came to me. These are all a part of each of his toxic personalities. It's almost like I'm getting that he's being everything to everyone else, but nothing to her. Almost like it shows like the duplicity. Because we have 1, 2, 3 people in this reading, and none of them is a woman. None of them is Beyonce. It's almost as if I'm looking in on the situation from her like standpoint. Like if it was a woman telling her story, it would be like, and she was complaining to her man, it'd be something like, we never talk anymore. We don't even have sex anymore. Like if I want to, if whenever we're communicating, we never communicate face to face. I either have to message you, text you, something like that. And if, you know, we're messaging or texting, it's all about business and or it's something else related to the family. But if it's related to the family, it's always about Rumi and, you know, it's never about me. It's, oh, do you ever ask about me? Or are you out there with some other woman? I know you're out there with some other woman because all these women I see all these women messaging your phone. You're always everything to everyone else, but not anything to me. That's the message that I'm getting here. Oof, goodness gracious, that took a lot of energy. Let's take a look at. Let's take the look. Okay, give me just a second. When that card flipped over, the card that I got here was the Hanged Man. So this energy was pulled from me. This is how I'm feeling right now. Like I just got like the biggest wave of like, it was just like all of my energy just taken away from me. So let me spend this time to shuffle. Thank you guys for your patience. And I'll just kind of look at the cards for a moment, see if I'm able to get any more energies while I shuffle. And then we can jump back in. Okay. Wow. I'm going to give a piece of advice. At the end, I'm going to provide a little reading about what we can do to make it better. Because it takes two. It takes two to get to this place. Okay? Even though one energy may dominate than the other, more than the other, and their energies are both dominating. Because when I'm reading this reading, I'm seeing this reading is coming out from like, I feel like I'm seeing things through the eyes of Beyonce. But then the energy is also dominating inwardly to me as seeing it through the lens of Jay-Z. And it takes two to tango. So they're both dominating in their own way. Jay-Z is dominating by bringing in the energy, and Beyonce's dominating because she as well, because her when the reading started, it came from it being in her viewpoint. Why not being in Jay-Z's viewpoint? If it was in Jay-Z's viewpoint and I were to read all of their messages here, then that means Jay-Z's dominating. If it was Beyonce's dominating and Jay-Z wasn't dominating, then when I'm reading the message, looking down, then it'll be both of their stories together. But just the fact that I'm not seeing Beyonce here on the table, I'm just seeing her feelings and just a lot of, you know, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. Also, a sense of accusations as well. So there's even, you know, accusations going on. I'm seeing that. I'm feeling that as well. So they're both dominating. They're both playing a part in what's going on in your relationship. Let's see. This is about to drop out again. Okay. All right. So let's take a look and see what we got here. Oh my gosh. I just got the heaviest, like my shoulders just got sore. Okay. Almost like, you know, when you're about to get a cold and you get the chills, and because you get the chills, you feel like a tiny, like muscle pain, like this arm here, like right here, just kind of got sore. Kind of started feeling like a muscle, like soreness. Okay. All right. So here again, This card drops out, the Ace of Cups, when dealing with the children. This seems to be the only thing that puts them in a new place emotionally, because it's a new situation for both of them. It's like an emotional new beginning. They know that through their children, they have options. Okay, and they know through their children, it's a rebirth. It's a new beginning for them. Okay, but even though through their children it's a rebirth, they're still finding a hard time coming together. If they don't change this direction fast, Rumi is not going to, not Rumi, I'm sorry, Blue, she is not going to be headed on a good path. They need to change this, because I'm getting that their children are feeling it and they're seeing it too. Just because the fact that they're showing up here shows that they're feeling it. And the emotion card came out, shows that their emotions are also involved in it. Please clarify. Please clarify. Let's take this one. Let's see. Don't try to prevent me from doing your reading. Okay, there we go. Okay. So something came out. Something was revealed. So it wasn't just that. I'm getting that Beyonce wasn't just accusing. She wasn't just accusatory. Okay, she went looking, she found, and she got clarity. She gained clarity. Okay, and she could even went looking in the sense like, she said, I'm not going to ignore the red flags anymore. I'm just not going to ignore the red flags. That could be her also looking and saying, you know what? No, I'm not ignoring the red flags anymore. Right? So even here shows the person in red jumping out. It's like, I'm not ignoring it. You have too many red flags. Two people you got too many red flags, and I'm not ignoring it anymore. And I see that those red flags are tearing me down. I mean, we don't even make love anymore. And then you have me wondering if he's not getting with me, then he's getting it somewhere else. Okay, and then you have me thinking about your options. It makes me feel like I'm not even an option anymore. Okay, and even with that being said, I'm working. I'm busy, man. I'm busy. We both work. We're both very, very busy people. It has nothing to do with you. It's just work. I'm busy. Okay, and I'm getting something here also came out pertaining to work. Somebody who may have been working alongside Jay-Z, maybe a new hire, someone who was just hired on. Something became clear about pertaining to their work. What is it that became clear? Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, so I'm showing here that there has been some new financial opportunity. So that's where it comes, that's where I'm moving on to, I'm moving on to bigger and better things. That's where I got that message from. Some new thing just developed pertaining to their business that has caused this situation to get worse. Are there any other players in this? Or is this just AZ's energy? Okay. Yeah, I'm showing here that, yeah, here's another message. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. Moving on to bigger and better things. I could have chose any two other cards to say it better myself. Let's clarify this Pentacles card. Let's take a look. That's the card we started with. Let's take a look. Dive deep into that card. Tell me about the King of Pentacles. What's going on here? Tell me what's going on with the King. I'm showing here, Jay-Z is not even showing up in his self. And as I said that, we got the Five of Cups. He's not happy. He's not happy. He's not happy at all. There's something that he deeply regrets. There's something he did that he deeply regrets. But it's happened. But he's still looking back at it. He's still looking back on it. And this is what's causing him to not be himself. It's almost like he has to stand in character. Let's get some more clarifiers. All right, so whatever was done was regarding a relationship, some type of partnership, or some type of connection or proposal. And he regrets it. Extremely regrets it. More answers. I'm getting that he's also reminded of it often. He's not sure if he can move past it yet. I'm almost getting that this is related to the situation between Diddy. That he feels deep regret for. Or he has deep regret for being any way involved in it. Because from what I'm seeing here, it shows a partnership here. And he's like, he can't stop ruminating about it. And he's trying to find a new beginning. Okay, it's almost as if it's a new beginning, but it's not. Okay, it's almost like it's not closed out yet. And it could be something else. You know, there's only so much that, you know, we know. You know, they only give us access to what, you know, we're only given access to what they let us have access to or let us know. So it could be something else that's going on in their life. That he regrets, related to some type of partnership. I'm not getting that it's a love situation. I'm getting that some type of union or mutual agreement. And I'm getting that this situation is, it's a new beginning, but it's really not a new beginning. It's almost like something has closed out, but it's still, but there's still preparation for the worst that could happen. Almost like he's in waiting, like unsure. Let's get some more clarity on these two cards, because we have these two cards, the King of Swords and the King of Wands, side by side. The King of Swords is like a manager, a boss, you know, someone who thinks with their mind. Okay. It also has energy of someone who makes rules, makes decisions. Okay. And then you have the King of Wands, who's someone who's like a entrepreneur, a natural leader. You know, they always look at the big picture, you know, but then both of these have their, you know, upside down sides, their reversal sides. So that when they're in their negative energy, and based on this, you can tell they're not in the best energy. Okay, they take on different characteristics. Okay, like impulsive, ruthless. They move quickly without thinking. They have quiet power. You know, they quietly use their power. There's inner truth that they have that they're keeping hidden. They've reached a point where, you know, the King of Swords has reached in reverse has reached, you know, a point where they've lost their, you know, emotional control. They're, you know, very manipulative. They use their power in the wrong ways. Okay, so this is not, right now he's doing a lot. I'm showing that there's regret for the choices that were made. A lot of regret regarding the choices that were made. Whether it's choices we know about or choices that we don't know about, but they too know about. We're going to clarify a few more cards, and then we're going to close it out with what can be done to make things better. Okay, let me take a look at that, even though it didn't pop out. Oh, Beyonce may have popped out there. But then she went back in. This card was like, hold on. Then she went back in. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Let's clarify. Family. Again, this is related to their family. Something that happened in the past. Someone not, you know, really having control of, you know, themselves and the options and the choices that they made. Not knowing what was, you know, made choices, not knowing what was, you know, later going to be the outcome. It's almost like a Wheel of Fortune energy, but, you know, you're playing, which cup is it under? You know, when somebody puts out 3 cups and, you know, they put a ball under one and they shuffle it. Which cup is it under? Pick. And then you have to pick and find the one with the ball under it. It's kind of like a situation where someone made choices knowing that with and under the choices that they made, they weren't sure or not whether it was going to come back later, and that ball was going to show up under one of those choices that they made. The ball being their choices. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, let's clarify. Let's do one more card, and then after one more card, we're going to do what they can do to make things better. Ooh, damn. What? And here comes Beyonce at the end, like, hold up, I got something to say. Let me speak my piece. So I like this card for her because the way she came out before wasn't like this. Okay, when I was just doing shuffling and it flipped in the deck, it was almost like how she wanted to come out because it was coming out as the Empress. I'm getting more of this as how she's showing herself, not necessarily how she wants to come out, but or appear, you know, but how she's showing herself. And based on this, I'm getting that the way how she's coming out as the Queen of Swords, she's matching one of the energies that Jay-Z tends to have, you know, because they are a couple, King and Queen of Swords. So she's just matching his energy, okay? And the energy of a upside down King of Swords is quiet power, really callous. They lose control of their emotions very quickly, very manipulative, use their power in the wrong ways. So she's matching that energy and showing up, you know, how, you know, he's showing up to her. But as I was shuffling, also, one of the cards that popped out was, not popped out, but it kind of was peeking itself. It even flipped on the deck, but I don't take those unless it lands. I just consider those, was the Empress, which is a mother card of the deck. So she just wants to be a mother. She wants to be able to have to put this hard part of herself down and actually, you know, pick up, use love, you know, and give that love to her children, you know, but it looks like she's giving it a moderation. She's not giving that love in moderation. We don't have too many love cards here at all. And the ones that we do have are related to regret and past situations that came around where the wrong choices were made, and, you know, happiness, but, you know, with the children, but, you know, the children are, you know, seeing what's going on with this relationship. So they're becoming more emotionally involved in their relationship by secondhand smoke. By secondhand smoke. You know, so they're seeing that secondhand just by being there. And they think that they're hiding it. They think that they're masking, you know, how they treat and how they feel for each other, but their children are seeing it. They're seeing it. All right, so let's do a quick card pull of what they can do at this point in time to make things better. Okay, like if they said, you know what, let's go ahead and see a therapist and figure out how we can make our life better. Let's see what, based on what they're going through this month alone, let's see what the therapist would say to them. Okay, so what would Beyoncé, okay, what would Beyoncé and Jay-Z's therapist say to them? See, here she goes. This is how she wanted to come out before. She keeps sneaking out like, if, you know, I can be this person, but, you know, let's see. What Beyoncé and Jay-Z's therapist say to them and for this month to make their life better? I get to end something. We didn't elaborate on it, so we can't say it's a relationship because that's not a death card, and that advice would need to be given by a therapist. So we would need to look deeper into that before we can know what's behind that specific card. All right, so let's see. What would the therapist say? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I'm going to draw 5 more cards, and I'm just going to provide that message in like 3 sentences, what the message that the therapist will say is based on the cards. Right now it's just looking like she's saying, she would say a vacation. Let's see here. Yeah. But I don't think this is what the therapist would say. I don't think a vacation would really help based on the situation. Whoever your therapist is, Beyoncé, Jay-Z, y'all need to fire them. This is like the typical response a therapist would give their clients. So basically what the therapist would say, that put the work down, you know, give to each other, get some rest, you know, take things slow, you know, spend some time there on your vacation, put away, you know, drop, so that way you're able to, you know, drop some of that burden. You guys already work very hard, so walk away from some of that work. Put down the emails. Don't reply to any messages. Make sure, just put it to the side, and make sure you're giving to each other, you know. And you guys may even want to renew your vows, but think about renewing your vows, something like that. This is the typical freaking response a typical therapist would give their clients. Let's see here. Let's see what message Spirit would give. So that was bull crap. I don't know who you got working for you, Beyoncé and Jay-Z, but y'all need a new one. Okay. Let's see. See what Spirit would say. Oh, that one flipped out. See, even when Spirit's communicating, at least Spirit's communicating in love, not saying, come on now. Okay. All right. Stop putting people in you're putting people in their relationship that's making situations for them worse. Because even the therapist, I said a therapist, but let's assume that this is what their therapist told them. Then the therapist that they have is actually kind of making things worse for them. That therapist, the energy I got of that therapist isn't a good one. Okay, let's get some courage. Oh, did y'all see that? That was the 8 of Wands. It was about to flip over. It went back in. All right, so let's see here. Right. Here we got the message card again. Okay, what Spirit say that you guys should do? What advice would Spirit give you to have a better relationship, to connect better, Oh, Spirit, you are so wise. So wise. So wise. That one just flipped over. It didn't flip over by way of shuffle, so we're putting it back in. Spirit is so wise. Okay. 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 So, Spirit is saying, take away the need to control. Take away the need to control. And that's between both of them. As I mentioned, as I was saying earlier, I'm feeling like it's on both sides. They need to take away the need to control. Both of them are trying to control the situation instead of just surrendering into their love. They need to find a new way of communicating that will allow them to be able to take themselves away from each of them wanting power in some way of each other in one way or another. They need to just surrender to each other's love and find balance in that surrender. I mean, renew the vows would be a good one. Okay, could be good with starting off with renewed vows. Okay, that could be a part of it, you know. But yeah, I'm showing here that the need to surrender to each other and stop trying to control each other. Finding a new way of communicating with each other. Finding a way that works. Basically, just surrendering into their relationship. It looks like why did they stop surrendering? It's almost like it reached some point in their life where something happened to where, and this is, I could figure it out, but this will be another whole long reading. We're going to do another video for this one. But something happened in their life which started causing that tug of war. See? It's like a tug of war. Like, who's going to get it? Who's going to have the upper hand? Beyonce, Jay-Z, surrender to your love. Both of you guys need to stop trying to find a way to control each other and be in your loving place, be in a loving space, and come together in a place of love. Just find a new way to communicate. Whatever happened, whatever tug of war, whatever happened, that, you know, it's you guys are playing a game of tit or tat, and somebody, and tit for tat, and somebody, you know, and the other wants to come out on top or look like, you know, they're the most dominant. That needs to stop, because it's tearing you guys apart, and it's going to show in your children later down the line. I can guarantee you that. All right, so that's the message that I have for Beyonce and Jay-Z's reading. If you have any, if you guys, I must say, if you have any questions, what? Like, follow, bye.